legendary actor whose career spans film, TV, and theater. Harry Lennix is best known for his roles in The Matrix, Man of Steel, and The Blacklist.
We just both sat up and went to the edge of the couch for this, okay? So in his new movie, Lennix steps into the role of a Catholic bishop in Brooklyn. Take a look at Godless.
Governor Pora, she's committed to this late-term abortion bill moving through the Senate. The church needs to draw a line in the sand.
As far as I am concerned, one man cannot excommunicate me.
This is a nuclear bomb.
We had a plan.
This is the plan.
This is not the plan.
This is the Roman Catholic Church, and you've pissed them off. You, Governor, have an obligation to your faith.
If you don't sign this bill into law, your career, it's over.
The world is watching us.
Wow.
Okay.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
Yes, and without any further ado, please welcome to the show, Harry Lennix. There he is.
Hello, sir.
Hello, Mike.
Good to see you again.
Pleasure to see you.
Dan
Good to see you.
Manarino.
Good to meet you. Have a seat.
How you feeling?
Oh, feeling well. This is a beautiful day out here in New York City, and perfect fall. This is my favorite time of the year.
I'm with you.
Yeah. My birthay's coming up too, so
When's
it's
the birthday?
special.
When's the birthday?
The 16th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of November.
That's it.
Coming up.
Mira, muchacho, déjame quieta, okay? I am very fragile at this particular juncture. So you're a Scorpio.
I am, yes.
Scorpio is the detective of the zodiac.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's
well,
very.
You stay here long enough, I'll tell you everything you need. Don't want to know about yourself.
good.
Okay. Now that we've cleared that up.
Yes.
Let's talk about
Two
Godless.
Roman Catholics right here.
Just the two of us, or who's the odd man out?
Are you?
Oh yes, I studied.
here we
Oh,
go.
well then give it
Studied
to
be a
us.
priest.
This is intriguing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Godless is, I think what more appropriate time than now when, faith and politics are really coming into sharp focus. And I think this is really quite a fitting conversation for this time. Godless deals with a Latina governor of New York who signs into law a late-term abortion bill, prompting my character, Bishop Reginald Rowland, to excommunicate this governor from the Diocese of Brooklyn, where I am the bishop. So this, of course, puts into great conflict these two very strong personalities, and that is overridden by the Pope himself.
So it is topical, right? So when you were coming up with the concept and the writing and looking and signing on as the part, did you think that it would actually reflect what could be happening in real world time?
Yes, I don't think that it's going away. I don't think that, I think that ever since probably Roe versus Wade, perhaps even more, certainly since Dobbs and so forth, that this conversation is not going away. What considerations, what kind of latitude do we give for people in this modern world in terms of what is a viable birth or what is a viable pregnancy, and what are the ramifications if somebody who is a Catholic chooses to take another route?
Which I feel like has been a conversation since the time before time. I grew up in a very staunch Catholic household, and these were hushed things. You didn't talk about these things ever.
Where'd you grow up, Marisol?
The Bronx, New York, in Nativity of Our Blessed Lady. And so, what an interesting time to shoot a film like this. Pretty light on the set, light and jovial.
As a matter of fact, it was.
Was it now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Our writer and director is Michael Rosigliano. He's a great writer, and he's a lawyer, and he's a kind of a Renaissance man, but he keeps the set very open. I think everybody was more or less Catholic on the set, so not everybody, but more or less. There are a lot of people of the faith.
Of the faith, sure.
And
go
ahead.
You studied to be a priest.
I did.
And so
rich.
I get, how bringing that knowledge into the role. I guess I don't. First off, why did you not pursue it fully?
Yeah.
Well, her name was no.
That's why they need to let priests get married.
They used to, as you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's only about 1,100 years old. This restriction, but for they had their reasons, of course. But yeah, I did fall in love with a young lady, and I figured, well, that maybe means I should explore another option before I make this commitment. But there are days that I wish that I'd gone on and become a priest, taken my orders, etc.
Well, you sort of do, just not as you, as the version, as a version of this. As we were talking in the meeting about all the films that you have done, I first laid eyes on you in The 5 Heartbeats. And my heart went pitter-patter. That feels like 10,000 years ago. You haven't aged a day.
Oh, well, thank you.
How far the breadth of your work is. What do you do to go like this with all the roles? Or is that just the definition of being a really good actor?
Well, this is, I don't ever want to leave this couch. Can I say that? This is great. You know, I've been blessed, I can only say. Fortunate, I've worked really hard. You know, I take it very seriously, this craft. I like to stay in class or teaching a class or whatever it is. I watch movies because I enjoy seeing where the craft is moving, when it is moving, what stays the same, that sort of thing. But over the course of the years, I think just surviving it, enduring, has kept opportunities coming up. Right. You know, I kind of feel that it's slowed down a little bit. I've been doing a lot of theater over the past year. It had been 20 years since I did a play. I did 4 this year. Okay. And so this has been great. One of them's coming to Broadway, by the way.
Oh, congratulations! I love Broadway. I love theater.
You're going to take me?
Yes, you can come to the theater. But you were also in the Blacklist. You shot Blacklist right here in New York. That's why you're living in New York as well, right? So I guess, do you want to stay here? Is this it? Like New York's the place to be?
You know, I don't see how New York can be out of the question, out of the equation. I'm working on a thing in Chicago. I'm trying to build a performing arts center there that would be on the level of a New York institution,
such as where you're from.
Which is born and raised in Chicago, where I went to the seminary, et cetera. But I am, but I don't think I can ever leave New York. It's important. It's integral to the rest of the country, arguably the rest of the world. So there's no way to detach from it. And I've had a very difficult time even imagining getting out of here. We were in the process of leaving, my wife and I, but then this opportunity came up that I just referred to, and so we're going to stay on a little bit longer, and I hope that goes on for a long time.
To that point, knowing your pedigree, knowing how hard you work at what you do, although you make it seem so easy, what's your go-to bagel order?
Well, I try to stay away from the bagel. H&H bagel is always my favorite bagel. I have to tell you.
Officially a New Yorker.
Good choice.
Harry, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on Godless and all the other things.
Thank you so much.
Excellent.
Great to meet you.